You got the draft coming up. That's the next big thing, obviously, the combine and the draft in NFL. And usually by now, Rob, especially now more than ever with NIL deals, kids typically have found their agents. You kind of know agents have to be registered in the NFL. But there's a couple of one big-time draft pick. One will likely be drafted probably later round that doesn't have an agent, and that is the brothers of Shedeur and Shilo Sanders. Right now, they don't have agents, which by all indicators is saying they probably won't have agents, at least for this duration, the early part of their careers. Well, when you know who their dad is, Deion Sanders, you know how involved he is in their life. You know how much he cares for them. And he just recently was on a talk show, and he said, why is it an issue that I'm that involved with my sons, that I care about my sons, that especially somebody who was in the position in which they're trying to get in, why'd I not be so hands-on with my son? He's like, that's crazy to him. But so to kind of make this make sense for some, there's one big reason why a lot of rookies, specifically in the NFL, don't have agents, or it's starting to be a growing trend, is because they know exactly what the rookie scale is. There's not a lot of wiggle room with that. This is exactly what it can be. If you're a first-round, top-5 pick, this is boom. If you're a top mid-range, this is boom. If you're an end-of-the-round pick, here's the draft. If you're a second-round pick.
The players did that when they accepted the rookie salary cap, which was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
So because of that acceptance, now here we are. So then you have somebody like Caleb Williams last year, biggest pick, prospect in years.
Top pick.
Top pick, number one guy. It was easy. He knew that already. He didn't have an agent. Marvin Harrison Jr., who went, I think it was fourth he went, believe it was. He didn't have an agent last year as well. So you're starting to see this happen more and more where these guys aren't having agents. But I do think it's a different case with the Sanders brothers because they literally have a dad who is highly connected. This is not a normal situation. They have really as big as you can get as a father, kind of like Archie and Peyton and Eli, tapped in, connected, knows people, has agents and lawyers that he can refer to, lean to, and not have to, have them and get that percentage and all that, especially with the rookie deals when we already know exactly what you're about to get. If Shedeur goes top 5, they know what it's going to be. The other stuff is the other stuff. If he gets a deal with Pepsi, gets a deal with Nike, gets all that, that's other stuff. But strictly NFL salary, I know exactly what you're going to get. So let's work on this. Let's get you the deal. We ain't got to pay the 3% to an agent. Keep that to yourself. And we build up on this and do it how you want to do it. You have your hands on, be so hands-on with your career. So I think that's what the Sanders brothers are going to do. Maybe it won't last, maybe the duration of the career, but this first iteration of it.
Yeah, I just think that we've seen this, like you said, already, and it only there's no negotiating to be had. So if you want to save 3% on whatever that deal is, why not? It's a set number that you're going to get regardless. And after that, if you want to get somebody, if you think after that rookie deal, and if there's a chance that you could negotiate and hash out numbers or whatever, do I think Juan Soto would have got $765 million by himself? No, I don't. I don't, because it's not built like that.
Right, and we talked to Scott Boras. There's just the little things that he can find.
You know what I mean, right? And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he wouldn't have got a lot of money, but do I believe without an agent he would have got $765 million? No. So there's those kind of deals where I think you need to have somebody in your corner, and it's worth the price to pay to make sure you don't, because they know what all the deals are. They know the language. You know what I mean? These agents, they share, right? They share. They want to know how much he's making so that they know what to ask for and where it fits in. It's like the television business that we're in and where agents, they know what people are making on network television, doing a show, whatever, so that you don't go in looking crazy and go like you're asking for something that's way too low, right? And then they go, oh, okay.
And to your point,
or too high.
It benefits
or too
everyone.
high,
exactly.
and you talk yourself out of a job.
And that
happens a lot where people go in.
Oh, all right, now we want you, but not that much.
Exactly. Oh no, I want $9 million. Oh, okay, thank you. We'll call you back.
Right.
And then somebody gets a job for $5 million because $9 million was really never on the table.
Never. They usually know exactly their range. I'm making it up to make it easy. Say $1 million. All right, we're gonna offer him, $700,000. We know we're going to $1 million. And your agent comes in and says, no, absolutely not, because we know Joe Blow, to your point, got 1-2, so can we get 1-2? All right, we meet in the middle one.
Right,
they meet at one. That's how it goes. You know what this reminds me of, or at least made me think of? Remember when Ricky Williams?
Look at that score right there.
Yeah, no. I'm watching the Wizards. Trust me, I'm watching. They're so terrible.
56-50. They were winning big a minute ago.
It is just 14. Embarrassing. Remember when Ricky Williams signed with Master P, his agency, and Master P agency?
Terrible contract. One of the all-time worst contracts.
He was like, no, pay us at first. Just pay us on. We want the money later. Pay us on how we perform. And it ended up being where it just didn't work out for Ricky, and he missed on tens of millions of dollars because he was trying to keep it real and keep it, kind of keep it in the family, if you will. And Master P was his guy, and Master P was trying to step into the sporting agency. For those who maybe don't know who Master P is, around that time he was the hottest, not only rapper per se, but businessman in hip hop.
But that wasn't his field.
Specifically, hip hop as well as not being a sports agent, and he wanted to have his hands in so many different pots, and so he started No Limit Sports Agency. And, man, Ricky Williams got messed up out of tons of money. So my point is, do be careful. A lot of people have their uncle as their agent or their manager. Lamar Jackson, was it his mom? I believe it's his mom.
He got paid.
Yeah, he got paid for sure. But so a lot of people try to find their, the way they want to do it. They want to keep it in their house. So that can work for a lot of people. And like I was giving the Ricky Williams example and some other ones, it can backfire. So you just got to be smart, man, because you're dealing with millions and you're dealing with businesses and organizations that are used to dealing with millions and billion-dollar deals.
Yeah.
So you just got to be smart as well, because you don't want to screw yourself out of some money, big money.
No, I just think, right, you have to. You can't go with people who don't. And I'm not saying there might be somebody who's trying to get in, but they got to be with somebody else who's already experienced, to learn from somebody if you're trying to do it that way.
That's why the Rich Paul thing was kind of cool, that Bron sent. Don't just be my guy. Go get the degree. Go learn the stuff. Go sit up under CAA.
Yeah, right.
Go do that first.
Well, but that's what it should be. Not just we're cool and you're my friend and I'm going to make you my agent. You got to know the business. You got to go
Rob was always good with math. What else?
Right.
That was it. No, you remember we were in math class? Rob was always good.
Nah, that ain't enough.
I'm going to need a little bit more than that.
And you will get fleeced out here if you don't know what you're doing.
100%. And we had to, again, I keep referencing because it was just for me as somebody who's very fascinated and obviously very much entrenched in the business. I love Scott Boras' conversation we had. By the way, I was on a podcast this week. Go find it if you get a chance to. But you learn every time we ask him a question. Well, you say, hey, Juan Soto, I never thought he would get more than 450, 400, whatever it was. And he kept saying, well, Rob, it was about the data. It was so interesting. He would say, we had all these numbers that say, hey, look at where he's projected. If he's at this pace for over 3 years, and if you compare him to this player over 3 years, his batting average.
That's what he does. That's what Scott does.
Yeah, I'm going to have all this data to prove this person is going to be that person who is a Hall of Famer, right? They go, I guess, what would you have paid that Hall of Famer right now if he was 25 on your team? I'd give him anything in the world. Well, that's him. He's on the pace to be like this. And it was interesting, again, this is the type of thing you pay for. And this is why people, I don't want to give an agent. And obviously in our profession, it's usually 5 or 10% depending on where you are. Once you become a pro athlete, he drops down to usually around 3.
Well, it never was like that until they put a cap on it because these agents were, when the money got
too much.
Yeah, people were giving up 10% at one point.
You can't be giving up 10% of $700 million. That's just
what I mean? That's a lot.
I know you did some work, but that's right. That's scary.
And then they capped it. The leagues were like 3% cap. That's all you can charge.
Yeah, especially because another thing we talk about, too many of your clients end up broke.
Well, especially in the NFL.
They 65, 70% after 5 years are broke. So I'm going to need you to be helping out agents. You know what I mean? What's the 10, 15% for if you're not even really helping them? You're not helping them invest, find ways to be smart. And I know there's financial advisors, not exactly the same role, but help them out. You know people in the business.
Yeah, but you can't tell people once they get money, you can't tell them what to do. You're right. If that's the case, we wouldn't have any bankruptcies. We wouldn't have it.
Right.
There are bankruptcy lawyers. There's people who are doctors and lawyers and smart people who are all in bankruptcy, right?
Yeah,
let's just be real. It ain't just athletes.
No, it's not at all.
It's just not athletes.
Well,
people.
Shoot, it's not hidden news. Our president, as a businessman, has been bankrupt all the time. Bankruptcy. Right. Listen, people know how to leverage that too. By the way, that's smart business. Sometimes
at one time it was a black eye.
Yeah, and then people started realizing.
And then
oh man,
a lot of people
get out of this business,
right.
Get out of these debts and these liabilities we have. Yeah, I'm filing chapter 11. I'm filing that.